It is a great pleasure to welcome Meryl Streep to Cinema Showcase. Meryl, good to see you.
Thank you.
First of all, I think it's safe to say that you've never been in a movie quite like your new one.
No, and I think it's safe to say no one has ever been in a movie like this.
How did the whole thing come about for you? And what interested you?
They sent me the script about a year ago, and I read it and laughed like crazy. I thought it was very demented and sharp and funny. And I said I'd do it immediately, and I'd, be thrilled to play Helen. And I called them back and said that. And they said, no, Madeline. What did you say, Madeline Ashton? And I thought, oh my God. Because, I just assumed that they wanted me to play the intellectual, the writer, sort of East Side, blah, blah. Not the song and dance, the failed song and dance girl who can, kicks up her legs, such as it is on Broadway. But anyway, that's what they wanted me for. So then I got really nervous and went into weight training and all sorts of other things and dance lessons. But it was really fun.
It is. The movie is a great deal of fun. And dark humor is, we don't see that much of it today.
Yeah, I guess.
We should see more of it, I think.
Well, you see a lot of cynicism, but that's different from dark humor.
Right.
There's a sort of an exuberant momentum to this. It just really flies by, and it's also very pointed and accurate. I mean, it's hyperbolic and it's oversized. And it's, truth writ large and very, very funny. So it passes, but I think it has a lot of sharp things to say.
Absolutely. You had never worked with Bob Zemeckis, had you?
No, I never had. I was thrilled to get the chance to.
Well, I know you've worked several times with other directors. What for you is the ideal director?
Oh, there's no such thing because the material demands a different thing from each person. And Mike Nichols used to say to me, well, it's like making love, directing. You never know how somebody else is doing it. You always wonder if you're doing it as well as the other guy. And people always ask, well, which director do you prefer? But it's really dictated by the needs of the material and the story and whether the thing is charged by his or her own passion, the director's own. The stuff that fails is something that a director doesn't want to do, just takes as a job, and then it doesn't feel
well, you are an actress who brings a great deal to the part. You do your homework. You've told me before you will do whatever research you think is necessary. What if the director doesn't agree with what you're sure is perfect?
Fortunately, they've all agreed with everything that I wanted to do, so never run into a problem. No, with this one, you asked me about the scene where Helen meets her backstage, my character, whatever her name is, Madeline. And Madeline rehearses how she's going to appear, when they open the door. And that was our very first day of shooting, and I was sort of feeling my way, with the director. What are they going to say? That little thing that you did in there, you don't need that, but just, get to the door opening. But that was the first day, and Bob let it stay in, and lo and behold, it's in the movie, so...
That's marvelous.
That's marvelous. I mean, I knew we were on the same wavelength, and he's real sharp, and you can pick that up right away,
Let me ask you something about training, because a lot of actresses who are thinking of going to drama school certainly respect you. You attended Yale Drama School. How important is this kind of training?
In this movie, training was very valuable because it's so physical.
Yeah.
And I find that so much of acting has to do with stamina, not just being in physical shape, but also having a means by which you can gather all your resources and after 8 numbing hours of boredom, go on and do 30 seconds of brilliance. You know, it's quite a task. But you do need training, not if you want a career that goes a lot of different places.
Sure.
And I've always wanted that. I've always wanted to be able to sort of dance in any circle of the circus. You know, I always didn't want to be confined to one area because I have a big appetite and like to do a lot of different things. For that, I would say training is very important. Certainly, I haven't exercised my stage muscles in a while, but and I'd like to. It's hard with my family.
You know, I wonder what are young actors and actresses to do if the big part comes along when they're 18, 19, or whatever, and they can either do that or go to school. What happens to them? What should they do?
Gosh, that's a very interesting question. I mean, I don't know what I would have done if someone had offered me something as wonderful as, I don't know, Sophie's Choice while I was a student. It would have been very difficult to say no.
Exactly. Exactly.
I would have done the film and then gone back to school. Sure you would.
I know you would. I know.
No,
I know.
Sure could have paid off my student debt faster than I did.
I think you once told me that Yale Drama School is every bit as competitive as commercial filmmaking, was it?
Oh, yes, because it's a very small, well, when I was there, it was a very insular sort of thing. I was always in competition with the same 3 or 4 people for the same roles. And it's a 3-year experience, and it was very intense. On the other hand, it was a great workshop for me. I mean, I got to do so many different things. If I'd been waiting on tables, at the same time, I wouldn't have been able to be in that many plays.
Yeah.
And I do think experience is the best teacher.
Absolutely.
So, but I'm grateful for what Yale gave me. I always draw upon it.
Well, I want to thank you for taking this time again. It's been a terrific pleasure, and I hope everybody goes see Death Becomes Her.
Yeah, me too.
It's marvelous.